increases by 3.9. Will we bring down the emissions in time? The ocean level creeps up each year. Can we save all that we hold dear?
Y'all done heard about the ride. Our CO2 emissions ain't right. They gonna have you cling to your life, man. The world's full of strife. If we don't stop, you might as well put the X's over your eyes. Those CO2 emissions, y'all need to check them before you know it. The tide will come, and all cities will be gone. The banging of the gong, the coming of the storm. The horsemen are coming, your seas will be flooding all because the emissions are climbing. Particles in the air, Manhattan gonna sink unto Atlantis after it falls.
We're gonna be like Atlantis?
Each year it increases by 3.9. Will we bring down the emissions in time? The ocean level creeps up each year. Can we save all that we hold dear?
People don't ever see what's truly going on. When it comes to the number of truths, there's only one. Everything will be gone unless we right our wrongs. Turn down the emissions, stop burning the coal. When the emissions go down, we can stay above ground. And doesn't that advice seem just sound?
The nuclear power plants need flexibility.
We have a responsibility to deal with the existing spent nuclear fuel.
The United States has spent $15 billion on Yucca Mountain.
We need a repository.
The United States is becoming more and more reliant on nuclear energy. Coal has been proven to damage the environment, and fracking is needed to obtain natural gas. Nuclear energy seems like the obvious solution, and it could be if the government would decide on a place to store the waste produced by such reactions. They started this process, but unfortunately never finished. Every day that goes by without a formal repository site, the more dangerous the makeshift sites become. In 1982, the Department of Energy was directed to begin work on a nuclear waste facility for national use. They had to find a way to store the 74,000 metric tons of nuclear waste produced throughout the country. There were 3 primary facilities considered for the much-needed storage: Deaf Smith County, Texas, Richland Basalt Mines, and Yucca Mountain. After 5 years of environmental research, the DOE's efforts were concentrated on Yucca Mountain, Nevada. The site was proven to be scientifically sound for the intended purposes in 2002, despite widespread doubt of its safety.
The NRC staff got their evaluation issued, which is the ultimate test since they're an independent regulator. And the Safety Evaluation Report, SER it's called, was pretty much totally agreeing that we had a safe site, and there were almost no findings or recommendations or concerns that they had after a very complex review that they did for several years.
The president needs to focus on America's distinct lack of nuclear storage facilities. The government has already poured billions of dollars and more than 30 years into the Yucca Mountain facility, and it's time they finish what they started. In place of a facility intended for national use, the DOE decided to settle for small, temporary housing compartments for the radioactive waste.
Most utilities have the ability to either store spent fuel on site, usually in pools, but occasionally they have licensed what's called IFSTCs. It's basically it's a big concrete pad where you put the spent fuel in a large container covered by a concrete shield container. And the NRC licenses these, and so that's where the commercial spent fuel is now. The DOE materials are currently in storage in places like Savannah River and Idaho, various places in the DOE complex.
These independent spent fuel storage installations are stable, but only for about 50 years. Yucca Mountain has already had 30 years of construction. This is a problem that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. The temporary facilities are in no immediate danger, but they won't last forever.
So we have a lot of highly radioactive waste around the country, and we don't want it to sit out all over the country for hundreds and hundreds of years. So it's a pressing issue because just about every state in the country has nuclear waste in their state.
Currently, 3.6 million pounds of nuclear waste sit at San Onofre Nuclear Generating Station. The most common type of waste produced in nuclear facilities is uranium-235. During nuclear fission, some uranium atoms obtain more neutrons, which can convert them into plutonium, the most deadly element known to man. It is said a speck can kill. The inability of companies to properly dispose of such dangerous substances is limiting the expansion of the industry and putting lives at risk. Yucca Mountain could safely store all of these hazardous substances. The site was chosen because of its ideal geological composition.
It's in a type of rock, which is a volcanic rock that's very, very strong and very tight, doesn't allow water to pass through it. Ignimbrites are volcanic ash that's been then welded together so that it's a very, very tough, tight rock, very strong, and probably about the best sort of material to put something like radioactive waste into.
Yucca Mountain is the best solution to the nuclear waste problems circulating the nation today. We need to create a place to safely store these hazardous materials permanently. To start this project up again and finish the Yucca Mountain nuclear waste program, the DOE needs the President's approval. It is up to the President to restart the project, and right now, nuclear waste and where to store it isn't currently a part of the President's agenda. We need to store our radioactive waste safely and indefinitely so we can make America safe again.
If you're confused as to what paper recycling includes, here's a list for you to follow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Pizza boxes, but make sure they're clean. Milk and juice cartons better be emptied. Paper lunch bags and paper lunch trays. Recycling your paper waste every single day. Recycle to save millions of trees. We recycle to reduce our carbon footprint. We recycle because we care about the earth we're living in. We recycle, so begin by recycling your lunch. Now let's talk about the commingled. Don't worry, it's simple. It's plastic, glass, and metals too. Ooh, ooh. Bottles of our types, plastic or glass, tin cans, plastic cups, but no saran wraps. Takes way too long to decay, so recycle your plastic waste every single day. Recycle to save millions of trees. We recycle to reduce our carbon footprint. We recycle because we care about the earth we're living in. We recycle, so begin by recycling your lunch trees. We recycle to save millions of trees. We recycle to reduce our carbon footprint. We recycle because we care about the earth we're living in. We recycle, so begin by recycling your lunch trays.
Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I'm collabing with Elise. You guys know I love her. I'm gonna put her link in the description box below.
So in honor of our collab and the runaway cat, please click like and subscribe. If we could get that to 10,000 likes, that would be amazing.
So we're gonna do a little bit of a story time here.
So Hannah and I were taking a hike the other day and we saw this girl.
She takes this piece of paper and she throws it in the trash.
That's not okay.
It's really not.
It's such a waste.
It's a big waste.
You know what's also a waste? Her life. Yeah. So we decided to drop a diss track.
Recycle, 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 recycle.
Do you think that it's okay to dispose paper that way? Trying to be LeBron James. Get ready for our flame.
Only 2/3 of paper is actually recycled. Don't you know that trees are important and vital?
Recycle, 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 recycle.
We're losing RO2 and it's all because of you. You're piling up more trash. Stop being such a
Bad person! A tree is an animal's house. You probably killed this mouse.
Recycle, 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 recycle.
Not many trees will be left in 2030. Do you really want to breathe air that is that dirty? 6 billion trees are cut each year.
There won't be any time left to interfere.
Recycle, 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 recycle.
Holla at ya, boy.
And save them trees.
Recycle, recycle, recycle with me.
Oh, I have to make 200 copies of this assignment.
Wait, don't do that.
Why?
So many trees are being destroyed now to make paper. But that's what's wrecking the forest, so why don't you use this?
What is that?
It's a Chromebook. You can upload paper online.
Why would I want to do that?
Forests cover 30% of Earth's surface. It's estimated that within 100 years there will be no rainforest due to the fact that 1.5 acres of the forest is cut down every single day. As set by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization.
Oh wait, I don't understand.
You can give the students the assignments online using the Chromebooks.
Oh, but this is so much easier.
Not really.
What do you mean?
Well, it only takes less than a minute to upload an assignment in a particular classroom.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it also helps save animal habitats.
Really? How?
Well, deforestation kills forests, and those are animal habitats. When animals lose their habitats, there's a risk that they can get on the endangered species list and go extinct.
That's awful, but I don't think that'll really happen.
Well, have you ever been to a zoo and seen a panda?
Yeah, they're really cute.
Well, with deforestation, pandas' habitats are going to be destroyed, which is hurting their population, according to World Wildlife Foundation.
Deforestation is a major problem in our society. There are more than 121 natural remedies in the rainforest which can be used as medicines. But with 1.5 acres of forest being cut down every second, those natural resources are going to waste. To put that in perspective, the rate of deforestation is 20 football fields in 1 minute. Not just natural remedies are found in the forests. 25% of cancer-fighting organisms are found in the Amazon. 1.6 billion people across the world depend on resources from the forest for their jobs, which adds to deforestation. Almost half of the world's timber and almost 70% of paper is used by Europe, the United States, and Japan alone. The United States has less than 5% of the world's population, but consumes more than 30% of that 70% of paper. Tropical rainforests, which cover 67% of the Earth's surface, contain over half of all the plant and animal species in the world. With rainforests being destroyed, those species are losing their habitats and are more vulnerable to extinction. Overall, deforestation is an issue that needs to be resolved.
You heard about global warming, but sorry, there's another problem. But don't worry, because CA3D is here to solve them. I'm talking about air pollution, chemicals are in the air. It can aggravate asthma, cause lung cancer, and that's not fair. I have a solution, I have a conclusion. If we all help, then we can reduce it. Conserve energy, we can't misuse it. Because if we inhale pollution, it takes away a few years of life. Key cause will tune in alright, because the chemicals will get in the sky, and then it makes you more likely to die. So please don't spill gasoline when it gets in the air, it gets harder to breathe. We should all plant trees so then the earth will be more clean.
CO2's on the rise cause we're burning, and as it dies more plants making pollen. Asthma rates on the rise, where'd our health go? We gave it all away. Absence heat up, our forests get drier. This is a recipe for more forest fires. The smog is too much, where'd our health go? We gave it all away.
Pollution's a huge problem, slowly killing our planet. It comes in many different forms, doesn't matter how you have it. From the exhaust out your car to burning fossil fuels, it stays here, cooling it, chilling in our lower atmosphere. Now when we're burning coal, you're thinking, oh, nothing's wrong, but it creates a harmful substance that is known as smog. Now it may not seem like it's harmful, not in the slightest, but it can cause harmful conditions like asthma and bronchitis.
CO2's on the rise cause we're burning, and as it dies more plants making pollen. Asthma rates on the rise, where'd our health go? We gave it all away. Absence heat up, our forests get drier. This is a recipe for more forest fires. The smog is too much, where'd our health go? We gave it all away.
Hold on, wait, gonna drop the beat real low. Climate change is a big problem, just so you know. Cause major problems, just like my ego. Take notes, cause this is a lot of info. CO2 contribute most to climate change. Carbon dioxide is the formula's name. Anytime we drive our automobiles, we burn gas in order for us to turn our wheels. The process here is what we call combustion. Understand it if you want CO2 reduction, because in this process, CO2 is produced. If you want to decrease it, then decrease your use.
Turn off the lights, let's save some power. Even if it's just for an hour. We can change the world, one step at a time. Gotta keep it looking nice, 'cause it's yours and mine.
Using less electricity means burning less masses. So with less CO2, there's less greenhouse gases. Never mind, acid rain will lower this emission. So let's work together to cut carbon emission. Fossil fuels add to the atmosphere. We're heroes to save the day, so never fear. Climate change causes droughts, hurricanes, and more. Cut the power usage to save us from these storms.
Turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights.
Let's save some power.
Save some power.
Even if it's just for an hour.
Just for an hour.
We can change the world.
Change the world.
One step at a time.
One step at a time.
Gotta keep it looking nice, 'cause it's yours and mine. Turn off, turn off.
Unplug your microwave.
Turn off.
Turn off your computer screens.
Turn off.
Save some energy.
Turn off the lights. Turn off.
Turn off your phone.
Turn off.
Turn off your TV.
Turn off.
Turn off the lights.
Off the lights.
The Chesapeake Bay is the largest estuary in the United States. It is 200 miles long, touching parts of Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and Washington, D.C. The bay is an economic source of livelihood for many, producing about 500 million pounds of seafood per year. The Chesapeake also houses two major shipping ports of the North Atlantic, Baltimore and Hampton Roads.
So Chesapeake Bay is extremely important for a variety of reasons in terms of the ecosystem. First, it's one of the largest estuaries of its kind within the nation, so it provides a lot of different habitats for a lot of different animals. And then when we think about it from a human impacts perspective, it's also one of the most populated watersheds that we have in the U.S. Generally speaking, there's a lot of fish that rely on the Chesapeake Bay as a nursery, and a lot of other marine organisms that live in these sort of intertidal or interwater or bay type communities that aren't found in, say, the open ocean. So it's a pretty unique area.
Pollution is the main reason why the Chesapeake is no longer thriving. Nitrogen is found in fertilizer, manure, sewage, and other such waste products, as well as in some emissions from vehicles and factories. These excess nitrous and phosphorus pollutants cause hypoxic zones, often referred to as dead zones. While nitrogen and phosphorus are nutrients that are essential for maintaining all life, an excess of these nutrients have created effects that are visibly detrimental to the bay. Algae blooms are areas of little or no oxygen. These blooms cause the death of many essential parts of the ecosystem, such as vegetation and aquatic life. The bay used to have natural ways to filter runoff, such as wetlands and meadows that could absorb the nutrients, but careless land development has stripped the watershed of these natural buffers, resulting in this fast-growing problem. The Chesapeake Bay impacts the health and prosperity of 17 million Americans and provides food and drinking water. According to the Chesapeake Bay program, the bay is a source of drinking water for 75% of the surrounding residents, which rounds out to almost 13 million people. However, bay pollution affects local residents in more ways than one.
Water quality also impacts people that are using the bay for recreation. Maybe they don't want to go swimming in the summer or are shying away from sailing or something else where you might get wet because of some of the flesh-eating bacteria that's been found in the bay over the past few summers.
There are now bacteria-filled waters caused by algae blooms, making it unhealthy not only for the wildlife living in the bay, but also people looking to enjoy themselves in recreational activity. Watermen have worked on the Chesapeake since the colonists first settled. The bay is their source of income. Without the resources provided, the jobs of watermen and many others will be compromised.
The bay gets, worse all the time. You're not going to be able to harvest anything out there. And you're talking about fishing, crabbing, oystering, and it's going to affect a lot of people if something doesn't clear up.
According to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, the commercial seafood industry in Maryland and Virginia, through which the Chesapeake runs, contribute $3.39 billion in sales, $890 million in income, and 34,000 jobs. Oysters are especially important in the Chesapeake. Oysters are a natural filter, each cleaning 50 gallons of water per day. But over the last 3 decades, the oyster population has decreased to about 1% of the past populations, causing the economies of Maryland and Virginia to lose $4 billion in total.
When you look at the Chesapeake Bay, the best way we can drive the economic engine of Maryland and of this region is to make sure that the bay is healthy.
The dwindling population of the oysters and other wildlife is not only hurting the bay environmentally, but also economically. There is currently one piece of proposed legislation to clean the bay, the Chesapeake Clean Water Blueprint. The blueprint was proposed and exercised by the Environmental Protection Agency under a Clean Water Act provision called the Total Maximum Daily Load. The TMDL, as it's otherwise known, is a scientific estimate of the maximum amount of pollution a body of water can accommodate while still meeting water quality standards. Under the authority of the EPA, pollution limits were set in December 2010. The blueprint will ensure that everyone that is affected by the bay will share responsibility for cleaning up the waterways. It sets 2-year incremental pollution reduction goals to make sure that progress is kept on track, and it imposes consequences for failure if the surrounding areas do not meet the goals. The easiest, most cost-effective way to reduce runoff is to implement conservation practices for the farmers and the agricultural industry. Because farmers are a crucial part of our community, working with them and not simply placing restrictions on their farms is essential in helping create a solution that works. One of these solutions is to replant vegetation that surrounds the bay and watershed, such as wetlands and meadows, in order to create a natural filter that could reduce the amount of polluted runoff. These areas of vegetation absorb the excess nutrients from the runoff before it reaches the bay, making it unharmful to the bay's waters. Using cover crops is also another way to filter runoff. Planting certain crops, such as vetch and rye, around produce buffers runoff and improves soil quality. The main obstacle for this solution is the cost of implementing them, especially for farms that are not financially supported by the government. State governments and the national government should allocate funds that will help farmers adapt these conservation techniques. Small community efforts can also make a difference in cleaning the bay.
And so whether or not we as consumers are conscious in the foods that we eat and that we choose to eat, and know and do our homework to know whether or not that came from a place that was sustainable, for example, I think that's going to make a bigger difference than anything the government can do.
Thankfully, with the implementation of the Chesapeake Clean Water Blueprint, the state of the bay has improved. According to a study that the Chesapeake Bay Foundation recently released, the bay is currently in its best condition since 1992, earning a score of C- on water quality. However, the bay is far from perfect. The amount of key pollutants in the bay, nitrogen and phosphorus, both still maintain grades of Ds and below. In the future, undertaking the job of cleaning the bay will only become more difficult. The President, Donald Trump, has not taken a strong stance on environmental concerns and will seemingly not enforce pollution laws. This means that the states currently involved in the Chesapeake Clean Water Blueprint will no longer face consequences if their end of the bargain is not met. The Chesapeake Bay still has a long way to go, but with the proper enforcement and care, the bay will surely become, once again, the pride of the East Coast.
So you know we gotta step up. Burning all these fossil fuels is a reckless. Greenhouse gases are starting to increase, burning up our climate with these higher degrees. It's a planet, so you know we gotta step up. Burning all these fossil fuels is a reckless. Greenhouse gases are starting to increase, burning up our climate with these higher degrees.
Problem is bigger than just our country, man. It's all of us. Every woman, man, and child will feel it for many years to come. We have to work together. No excuse will halt this problem. Please listen to my words to understand this conundrum. For thousands of past years, this process has been natural, but due to human intervention, the effects can be devastational. Electricity, transportation are producing the most pollution. Decrease car emissions, saving energy is the solution.
It's a planet, so you know we gotta step up. Burning all these fossil fuels is a reckless. Greenhouse gases are starting to increase,
burning up our climate with these higher degrees. The biggest offenders are carbon dioxide and nitrate. Combustion of fossil fuels increases frequency rates. The more they collect, the bigger effect they will have, converting solar to thermal, creating a global heating pad. It's too late to undo all of this atmospheric calamity, but starting to live greener can avoid future catastrophe. Turn off all the lights when you know nobody is home. If you don't have to drive, keep one less car on the road. It's a planet, so you know we gotta step up. Burning all these fossil fuels is a reckless. Greenhouse gases is starting to increase, burning up our climate with these higher degrees. It's a planet, so you know we gotta step up. Burning all these fossil fuels is a reckless.